And welcome back. I finally managed to beat this guy solo. And reward for completing the Fill Cup, as with only Sora, is Combo Plus. This increases our combo for when we do ground attacks by 1. And once you complete the tournament, you get a ranking outside the Coliseum where you can check your current position. As we have done this with Sora on his own, only Sora's in there. If we've done this with Donald and Goofy, it will be say Sora, Donald and Goofy. Anyway, time to go visit a new world! And yeah, this place isn't really that spectacular. It's not too challenging, really. Not a lot of meteors, but... Oh yeah, that portal over there is the one we used to enter this area, so don't go in there or you'll go back to the previous ring, and that's not where you're supposed to go. And Ben is not with me this time around because that was just that one thing, and I don't know if we can get him back on for another thing. But who knows? Yeah, the gamma ship is a lot better now. I still have to get some better guns for it so that it can fire much more rapidly. I probably could have just gone ahead and buy some more Thunder Gs, but oh well. The laser is also really handy, though it seems that he is prioritizing firing targets that are closer to you than further away. So most time we just try to target the debris than the enemies. But oh well, it doesn't consume that much power anyway. And this is the point where we get to the, I guess, the Children's Superman 64 route where there's tons and tons of rings. Yeah, that's a bit of a lame joke, but look at this. And of course the rings are spinning, because why not? I'm kind of tempted to speed these things up now, but I probably should have refrained myself from doing so. Well, I don't know. I probably won't do so, but there's not going to be much to say about this Gummy stuff anymore. We all seen what they are like. A giant whale in space. Sure, why not? Yeah, that's typically what happens if you just stand around doing nothing. Anyway, this is a perfect moment to have a flashback. I wish we'd be attacked and killed by monsters.
Hey, Sora! Are you okay?
What are you guys doing? Where are we anyway? Whoa!
Hey, free items!
Oh, you know, I think that big old whale Monstro just swallowed us. And for today's weather, expect showers. Oh, heavy showers.
Hey! Who's there? It's me! Oh, it's just Pinocchio. Pinocchio?
Pinocchio? Pinocchio, where are you going? Pinocchio! Come on, everybody, after him, quick!
Welcome to Monstro. Since the world of Pinocchio has been destroyed, apparently Monstro has just been roaming around across space for whatever reason. And here we get to what little of the Pinocchio world we got.
What have you got there, Pinocchio?
With this, we can get out of here, Father.
Really? With this big block, you think so?
It's true. So, how did you end up here, Pinocchio?
Oh my, so the whale swallowed all of you too? My goodness!
Yeah, looks like it.
My name is Geppetto. I'm Pinocchio's father. When we got separated, I traveled all over looking for him. Thank goodness we're together again. So, you seem to know Pinocchio quite well. I hope he was a good boy in my absence. Well, we've all had quite a journey, right, Pinocchio? Pinocchio!
Well, we know what we need to do now. However, I'm going to waste some time talking to Geppetto here. I think that was his name. I have a very short memory span when it comes to names. Excuse me. And Geppetto actually has a lot of things to talk about, so I'm going to spend a lot of time doing so. And excuse the cuts, I was trying to experimenting with a way to... I was experimenting with how I'm supposed to do the conversations, make it so that I get the speed. I cut down the time by a little bit. And clearly it doesn't really look so good, so I'm not going to do that. So for this part you have to just deal with it. Anyway, so let's go to Monstro's innards. That seems like a wonderful idea. And I hope you like whatever the hell this is. Yeah, this place looks ugly as hell.
What are you doing? Come on, let's go back.
You know, Geppetto's awfully worried about you.
Pinocchio, stop fooling around. This is no time for games.
Okay, bye.
But Sora, I thought you liked games. Or are you too cool to play them now that you have the Keyblade?
Riku? What are you doing here?
Just playing with Pinocchio.
You know what I mean. What about Kairi? Did you find her?
Maybe. Catch us, and maybe I'll tell you what I know.
Oh, come on!
And yeah, so that happened. Anyway, welcome, what are the new enemies? Just give me a moment to get my notes. Where are they? Let's see. Yeah, not the most professional thing here. Ah, here we go. These are called search ghosts, and as you can tell, they have like a cone of radius where they try to search for you or your party members and then attack you. And they can also disappear from time to time, and it takes quite a while for them to reappear. They're not very threatening, but they are tedious as they drag out battles for longer than it should. So, yippee. Now, the monstrous innards here are kind of a pain because it's basically a massive maze. A massive maze that has a lot of areas that are inaccessible unless we take a certain path. Now, we do get an ability here to make our trick here later on much more easier. Unfortunately, we don't get that until we're done with this place, at least for the story. So that's wonderful. But the ability we do get will be immensely helpful, and will be helpful for a lot of other areas as well, allowing us to get a lot of treasures we were previously unable to get. So I might just to go ahead and do some treasure hunting in the other areas we visited. As in other worlds, not areas of this place. We'll go back to other worlds and get all the treasures we can get now. But for now, we have to go ahead and clear out all the enemies we have seen so far. So we can't actually proceed here because the path is blocked and we can't do anything to destroy those planks. And everywhere else is beyond our reach, so you have to go back and take the other path through here. There's gonna be a lot of just going to places and hoping you can get to figure out where you need to go. It's gonna be a bit of a pain, but it's not too bad here since I mostly took the correct route. You do want to be careful not to fall off in certain areas that... Since you can't really access to certain areas, you need to get to the actual point you need to go. You want to be careful you don't actually fall off, so you have to go backtracking again. Because backtracking is always wonderful. And that can be a problem because most of these enemies are flying, and flying enemies like to put themselves in positions where they are out of your reach without you risking falling down and having to go all the way around back to whence you came. Which can make this place a bit of a pain, but if you're careful, you shouldn't have too much trouble. This place is certainly not as bad as the Cave of Wonders from Agrabah, which that place was just hell. Complete utter hell. This place isn't too bad, but it's not a whole lot better. Now I could probably just skip through these enemies and get to the point, and honestly that probably would have been better for us. But I'm going to have to gather enough experience later on anyway. And we do get to run into some treasures anyway, so... And you can't collect the treasures unless you defeat all the enemies, as you'll see in a moment. If you use this barrel over here and get yourself up here, you can actually access the area where there's a chest. Unfortunately, you can't open chests while there's enemies around. At least in this game, so that's freaking wonderful. That one over there is not accessible to us. I don't even think... It probably is accessible to us once we get the ability we get from this world. But for now, we can't do anything. I mean, you probably could backtrack yourself over there, but we can do that later. A lot of flying soldiers, which are quite nasty, but at this point... Oh, here's another enemy. Remember the pot spiders? Well, these are the barrel spiders. And the barrel spiders are a bit different, is that they'll occasionally explode once enough time has passed. And they'll try to charge you and try to blow you up with them. Now, if they do explode on their own, you won't drop any loot. But if you're low on health, you should probably choose to stay away from them if possible. You could just keep running away from them and they'll eventually explode on their own and saves you the trouble to take them down. But they do drop a lot of money if you actually can take them out before they explode. They're not too bad enemies, just keep in mind that they'll explode if you let them. And my friends sure are very helpful in preventing me from efficiently take down the large bodies. Donald really seems to be... Donald really loves to be completely useless. Yeah, large bodies kind of a pain in the ass with their gimmick of... you know, going on a rampage when they're low health, always facing the person they're angry against. And your party members usually won't go and actually attack them in the rear. Yeah, this place is just filled with obnoxious enemies and it's kind of a pain. But we have to do it to get through. We have to go, yeah. Although this isn't as bad as the other world, so yeah. And welcome to the parts where I'm going to run out of things to say because it's mostly just the same stuff again. And I already said all the things that you need to keep in mind. Like, don't fall into places where you might have to backtrack. Keep in mind that the barrels will explode if there's spider barrel enemies. And get used to your party members being useless as usual. Honestly, there isn't really much to this world, in fact. I mean, it's just a big massive maze, there's nothing really special about it. It's really unremarkable, despite the fact that it's the innards of a giant whale. Which is always wonderful. Well, that certainly was a thing. And here we got some more Dalmatians. We'll have to check on them once we go back to Traverse Town. Probably do so in the next part, since I collected a decent number of them, and I want to check if I can get any rewards from what I've gotten. I'd say that I guess I could say that there isn't really a lot of room to maneuver in this place. Again, not as bad as Agrabah and the Cave of Wonders, but still. I really should have just gone ahead and just skipped all these enemies since it just takes forever. Or at least maybe sped it up so that... well, I don't know. I guess Let's Play is not the most easiest thing in the world. Which is exactly why I'm doing it. Here's something I probably should have done so a long time ago. I've been trying to conserve my magic for when I actually need it, but at this point I don't really think I'm going to be in much danger if I don't have as much magic for the boss fights and such. This will just use ethers. So it should just be the battles up by just spamming Blizzard all the time, or Blizzara.
Why do you still care about that boy? He has all but deserted you for the Keyblade and his new companions, after all.
I don't care about him. I was just messing with him a little.
Oh, really? Of course you were. Beware the darkness in your heart. The heartless prey upon it.
Mind your own business.
Riku! What's the matter with you? What are you thinking? Don't you realize what you're doing?
I was about to ask you the same thing, Sora. You only seem interested in running around and showing off that Keyblade these days. Do you even want to save Kairi?
I do.
Well, that sounds ominous. Unfortunately, we just get a spawn point at this point, so we can go ahead and proceed. Safely knowing we don't have to deal with all that again.
You up for this?
No problem. Let's do it.
Say hello to the parasite cage. He's kind of a pain. And yeah, that's all you really need to know about the parasite cage. He'll keep swinging his arms around you, and you have to hit him in the face. You can't hit them behind. You'll just deflect all your attacks. So the best strategy is to cast arrow on yourself and keep hitting him, and hopefully try to get lucky and deflect his attacks by good timing of your swing with the Keyblade. Without arrow, this boss fight will be an immense pain because he deals quite a nasty amount of damage. But arrow does reduce the amount of damage you take to a manageable amount. Also, Riku will barely do anything in this battle. He'll just run around like a doofus, shoving taunts and whatever. He does occasionally jump down and try to do stuff, but only a few hits and then he'll go back to running around in circles like an idiot. So that's wonderful. Yeah, this guy's a big pain in the ass. He's not as bad as the other bosses we fight. In fact, he's probably going to be a lot better than the most bosses we fought, but still. Still very tedious, and this is not the last time we'll fight him. So that's gonna be fun. Yeah, okay, oh, he did 2 hits before I decided to go back. And now he's actually going around and being useful. Thanks, Riku. And Goofy learns Cheer, which allows us to boost our summoning powers, making them last longer and allows us to attack more.
Pinocchio! Pinocchio! Please, give me back my son!
Sorry, old man. I have some unfinished business with this puppet.
He's no puppet. Pinocchio is my little boy.
He is unusual. Not many puppets have hearts. I'm not sure, but maybe he can help someone who's lost theirs.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about Kairi?
What do you care about her?
Anywho, now there's a chest in here by the boat, and that is the ability High Jump. Its ability costs no AP and is applied to all your party members. High Jump basically increases your jumping ability by about twice. So now we can basically reach almost anything around Monstro. Needless to say, this is a very good ability. Unfortunately, we only just got it once. It would have been only got it once. Now that we already passed most of the places it would have been most useful for. Because that's game design, I guess. So we went back to the belly of the beast back before. We could have gotten all of the treasures in there. But that's for later. I will take care of all the treasures in this area though, since they are there. And I do want to show off how high jump works. Yep, there we go. Sora can now jump really high. And again, this means we can actually access most of the areas from other worlds which were previously to us unreachable. We can't reach anything, we still need to get one more ability to be able to get everything. And that's actually not too far off actually. Anyway, Water Gleam is a summoning stone. We'll be able to see what that is later. Here's another green trinity that allows us to get the chest up over here. And that's basically how most trinities are going to work. For a green trinity. Now, to be able to get all of the chests in this area, it is helpful to make use of the Keyblade swing to give you extra reach. Again, be careful not to swing towards a wall or you just bounce right off it. That's, needless to say, is very bad. But yeah, it's certainly helpful now we can actually access more areas. But yeah, anyway, so what we need to do is get up to this higher area and continue on into what could be the most tedious area in this whole world. This is basically a giant climb filled with enemies. We have to jump up to these platforms and keep going up and upwards. But there's going to be constantly enemies all up over the place. And many of them are going to be flying enemies, which are going to make us fall down constantly, and that's going to be a humongous pain in the ass. Tedium is a fitting word for this world. Not as bad as Agrabah, but certainly up there. The game does tone down on the obnoxious platforming in future games. Again, this is like the very experimental first game where they were still trying to figure out what stuck on the walls and what didn't. I do like this game. I really do like this game. Playing it is fun, even when I play it on the hardest difficulty. But yeah, it is flawed. It's very flawed. And it's gonna be a while before we can actually get to the good games. Since we have to get through this, and then we have to get through Chain of Memories. But for our efforts, we will get to the second game, which basically almost perfects everything in it. I believe Kingdom Hearts 2 is my absolute favorite of the series. But generally, all games after Chain of Memories are generally very good, in my opinion. Well, I don't know about the DS games. I've never really played the DS games. And the collection I got for the PS4 that includes the majority of the Kingdom Hearts games doesn't include the DS games. Those are not been given remakes. They're only given like super long movies or whatever, which includes all the cutscenes. Usually high definition cutscenes at that. And that's why I explained I couldn't do those, because that would require either figuring out how to record DS games from an actual DS or 3DS and then getting a copy of the game, or using emulators, which I'm, for various personal reasons, not really comfortable using. So I don't know if I'll be able to do those ever, maybe someday in the future, but not certainly now. Yeah, this place is pain. And it's just one area too. The next boss is right past this area, which is wonderful. And thankfully we get swooped up to the stomach, which is wonderful.
Hey, let Pinocchio go, Riku.
A puppet that's lost its heart to the heartless. Maybe it holds the key to helping Kairi. How about it, Sora? Let's join forces to save her. We can do it together. What? You'd rather fight me? Over a puppet that has no heart?
Heart or no heart, at least he still has a conscience.
Conscience?
You might not hear it, but right now it's loud and clear. And it's telling me you're on the wrong side.
Then you leave me no choice.
Pinocchio! Pinocchio!
Jiminy, I'm not gonna make it. Oh, I guess I'm okay.
What? Oh no, I'm dying. Oh wait, never mind. Apparently I'm not.
Huh?
Anyway, here he is again. And spoilers, it's almost the exact same fight, except we don't have Riku to help us out. And he has a lot more HP. The only difference, he has this acid breath attack, or whatever it is. And that's it. It's basically just the same thing, and we have to keep hitting him with the same attacks. And that's very, very fun. Now I did kinda do a little bit better this time around. And this is actually another thing that's actually a bit new. But when that happens, when you actually stun him like that, you're supposed to attack him from the front. I thought you were supposed to attack the head, which was now in the back, but that's not right at all. And it's gonna take me a while to figure that out. But yeah, whenever that happens, he'll drop HP orbs and MP orbs, so go ahead and hammer him down. Thankfully in this one, we don't have Pinocchio screaming at us in fear, so that's wonderful.
This should help.
Yeah, the basic strategy still holds out. Use air to reduce the damage you take to a tolerable degree, and you generally will make back enough mana to be able to cast a spell again. And the whole dropping MP once you hit them enough will also be certainly helpful. And whenever you're in low health, just cast Cure on you. Just be careful not to lose too much health and use an E first if you really are hurting. But generally you should have no trouble as long as you're not too under-leveled. Another thing you should notice that the acid pool will hurt you. It won't poison you, but it will hurt you if you stand on it, so don't do that. You can block some of those attacks, but the only ones you can really deflect are the ones where he swings one arm, or the one with two arms is unblockable. Well, it's not, you can't block it, but they will deflect you, so that you will be kind of exposed from doing so. They actually got a decent rhythm going until that happened. Yeah, this isn't really that great of a boss fight, but it's better than most boss fights I thought. This is certainly better than the various chaos fights in Sonic Adventures, definitely. Since you actually get to deal damage to him and not have to wait forever. I guess those fights are kind of like the Jafar fights in the last world, which was a pain. But this one, it just kind of drags on, and you know, that's a lot more preferable. I think this is the third time both Donald and Goofy has gone down now. Yep, they were really designed to take down this boss. No surprise there, considering. But finally is down, so we don't have to deal with that anymore. Good riddance.
Riku! Riku, where are you?
And now we get the spell Stop, which stops enemies for a short amount of time. Might be useful, but not really my preference.
So, Kairi's like a lifeless puppet now?
Precisely.
And her heart was...
Taken by the Heartless, no doubt.
Tell me, what can I do?
There are 7 maidens of the purest heart. We call them the Princesses of Heart. Gather them together, and a door will open to the heart of all worlds. Within lies untold wisdom. There you will surely find a way to recover Kairi's heart. Now, I'll grant you a marvelous gift. The power to control the Heartless. '
Soon, Kairi. Soon.
You were not even looking at her, Riku. And with that, we're done with Monstro. At least for the plot. With exception to collecting treasures, there's no real point to go back there. And don't worry, we can actually go back there. Nothing has really changed besides there are no boss fights anymore. Oh, and Geppetto and Pinocchio is not there anymore. We'll see him actually later in Traverse Town, so don't worry. Now at this point, we actually get a little prompt here. If we go back to Merlin, we can get ourselves a neat little reward. And also, there's a new cup in the tournament. Colosseum, excuse me. We'll get to that another time. For now, we just finish off by showing off the summon and the new item we get from Merlin. It's the Spellbinder Keychain. This keychain increases your magic and summoning ability in exchange for a reduced attack. I'll be using it for a while. I think magic can be somewhat handy. And now we get the summoning spell Dumbo from, well, Dumbo. Now Dumbo's fanbase can actually fly, and his attack is just spraying water. And that's basically it. Just hold the triangle button and just flash away. And that's it. I'll see you next time.